So this is the self's elemental characteristic, or is it developed over a period?
Yeah, some people may have this problem of possessiveness and jealousy. Some people may not have. It's not a universal
So
thing.
it's a given thing at birth, something like that it is?
For astrologers to know that Scorpio ascendants may have. You cannot even say that they definitely will have. You can't say that. No.
Right.
No. Possibility. Depending on the placement of Mars and so on. And divine architecture, what I call the divine architecture. And so it may be from birth, anger may be from birth. And one has to go case by case rather.
But from a Krishnamurti point of view, does he have anything to add to this possessive being jealousy?
Yeah, obviously, you can see in the course itself, in Amanaska Yoga, there are a number of case studies. There's one particular lady who is having tremendous amount of suffering, and then she comes and talks to Krishnaji, and she says, "Isn't jealousy itself love?" That's the proposition. Oh my God. Proposition. And she comes from a pretty bad culture and pretty bad family where she has been kind of brainwashed and made to believe that jealousy only is love. And so she comes to Krishnamurti to talk it over, whether indeed jealousy is love. And it's one of those typical case studies in Amanaska Yoga course where the lady actually learned nothing from the master. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Because in our culture, especially in the Tamil culture, I've heard these phrases being uttered now and then. In fact, probably even in the movies, where அவர் எப்படியாவது நான் கைக்குள்ள போட்டுக்கணும்னு பார்க்கறேன். Means as though, I want to possess him.
Exactly. Exactly.
And they think it's a great achievement.
Right.
Yeah.
In fact, it is touted as a great achievement that you have done just that. What you don't understand is that each individual has got their own sense of values, their own way of thinking and everything. No, so there's no question. I mean, even now with young children, they've got a mind of their own. You just cannot say anything to them, or they say, "No, I don't want it." No, they're so clear. Maybe we're all the dying out generation. Maybe the present generation are all will be more in tune,
more precocious, definitely.
More precocious, and more. They'll probably be falling more in line with what Krishnamurti is saying, that they're all going to think for themselves, and they're not going to be. I don't know.
They're more individualistic, as I see.
Yes.
And so it's one has to keep learning oneself from. I would say the following thing: that if one is really interested, then one should read the writings of the master, but that in itself is not going to deliver you, not going to save you. So you've got to do your homework, retreat into the sanctuary of your consciousness, and there observe the self at work, watch it at work, don't criticize, don't condemn, and learn from it. That's the way it should go.
The sense of possession, again, coming from Krishnamurti's perspective, the self wanting to possess something. Can you talk a little bit about that? Why is there that need to possess? What does it give the little self? How does it help?
So this is a typical astrologers understand this. In my experience, I found that self-knowledge is given by this world teacher, J. Krishnamurti. And I found that astrology also can be a source of self-knowledge if you can decipher the chart after having digested Krishnamurti's teachings. Then astrology throws a huge amount of light on what is the divine architecture, what is the divine conspiracy, how is the self structured, what are the propensities of the self, what are the inclinations of that self. And so some people may have the tendency to be jealous, and some people may have by the divine architecture to be possessive whenever the Mars energy is prominent. And there may be a whole lot of others who don't have this problem at all, to whom it won't make any sense. So we have to go case by case. It's a very customized thing. It has to go like that.